This podcast is intended for adults 18 years and older. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. All thoughts and opinions expressed are of our own and not of those of any specific group, employer, or individual, and is not intended to take as professional advice.
Welcome to the Foreplay Podcast. Join the journey, experiences, and sexual adventures of two high school sweethearts navigating their way through the swinging lifestyle as millennials. Come along for the ride. Let's play. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Foreplay Podcast. I'm Bella.
This is Jase.
And we are going to talk about an experience today that happened in summer of 2016 and then another...
So this must have been right after the last podcast ended.
Yep. Looks like it wasn't that long.
Yep.
Another experience that happened in January of 2017. So we're trying to get up to... What? Why are you
You sounded like whenever you make the sleigh dogs mush and stuff, you know? Yep.
Oh, is that what they say?
I think so.
No, I thought they say... Hi-ho. Just kidding. It's not that, right?
I don't know.
What did they say? Now we're going to have to watch that one movie.
Balto?
Oh, I was thinking of we got a bobsled team.
Oh.
What is that movie?
Cool Runnings?
Cool, right? Are we talking about the same thing?
No, I'm talking about whenever all the little dogs pull the sleds.
Yeah, like that movie, Cool Runnings.
No, they were like Olympic bobsledders.
There's no dogs in there?
No. It's like a little cart looking thing that you ride in.
I thought that... Man, it's been a minute since I've seen that movie.
There was dogs in Cool Runnings?
I thought the dogs pulled him.
Him? It's a whole team.
Okay, anyways, beside the point.
Here is our experiences. Welcome back.
So, summer of 2016, I can't remember exactly if we saw this couple at Colette again. Was it Facebook?
They're in a Facebook group.
Oh, Facebook group.
Yeah.
A lifestyle Facebook group?
Yeah, and we saw them. We thought they were really cute. And I don't
think they showed their faces and a different name.
They used a different name, yeah. But we ended up messaging them or something. And then after, did we figure, because they came back to our place.
Yeah.
Did we figure out when they came here that we'd already met them? Or did we figure that?
No. We knew before. Because I'm pretty sure we always exchange face pictures before we decide to meet with any couple. So I think what maybe ended up happening was I reached out to them and she was like, hey, we know you guys.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
right.
then we ended up had played with them our very first time we ever went to Colette. So this is Marcus and Jamie from episode... Ooh, I'm going to have to try to remember.
3?
Yes, episode 3. And we invited them over to our place to hang out and kind of see how the night goes. Again, this was so long ago, so I can't remember a play-by-play, so we're going to give you highlights.
Mm-hmm. So I remember it was... So once again, I know every time if you listen to our podcast before, we talk about the game that we made because it helps out so much. But it was the same thing. We didn't really have that much of a game at this point. We still had the Jenga, which we had played with another couple previously. Mm-hmm. But having that icebreaker really does make things kind of get started smoother, I would say.
And it's just an easier segue into play.
Yeah.
We all knew we wanted to, especially because we had already...
We were doing it before, so we all knew we were comfortable. We just didn't know how to make it start without it just being awkward.
Yeah.
So I think we ended up all drinking a little bit. And we all kind of got a little bit more comfortable. We ended up doing some of the Jenga game, I think.
Yeah, it was a sexy Jenga.
Which kind of moved things forward. But then, I remember how it got exactly started. But I remember we all came upstairs and just started playing together. Mm-hmm. And so, I remember for me specifically, I feel like we always start together. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure you were going down on me and she might have been going down on him.
I want to say that I didn't do much girl stuff with her. I don't think she was into a lot of girl stuff.
I don't think so
either. I kissed her a few times. And then this is a couple whose rule was no kissing each other.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't kiss her.
Yeah, maybe you didn't kiss her at all.
Yeah,
probably not.
Because, that was a rule we could full swap and everything, but when we swapped, no kissing.
Yeah. And so this is not going to be that detailed of a story because nothing that crazy happened that I remember. Like, we had a really good time, but I don't remember any specific things. I remember eating her out for a while I think he was like going down on you. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like we started together, but then I think we pretty much just kind of swapped with them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, kind of happens. I think that's a pretty regular thing. Like, sometimes you just start kind of playing with the other person and look over and, just do that. So
yeah, we were in the same bed and fucking.
Yeah, so I remember doing her missionary for a while and, like, doing her for, like, doggy for a while. God, I wish I could give you guys way more details. I really clearly thinking that I don't know that much about the story. I do remember I don't know if if it's a rule for them, but she never, like, goes down on the other guy. Or at least she hasn't with me. The 2 times that we had done stuff together, she never, like, went down on me. So I remember pretty much just fucking her, and then I came, like, in the condom. Like, I took it out of her, like, and came in my condom. Uh-huh. And then I remember, so she, like, you were over there with him and fucking him. And then after I came, you were like, oh, should we make him come together or something? Oh. But I remember it was really, like, it felt a little odd to me because she was like, oh, I don't care. And you were like, oh, well, I mean, do you want me to, like, go down on him with you? Or, like what do you guys want to do?
how do you guys want to finish?
Yeah, and then she was, like, kind of, like, not really saying very much. Yeah, so, I mean, I just feel like it was...
I don't remember how.
Yeah, I think that like maybe she ended up giving him a blowjob, but you like shaked your tits or something to help him out. I really don't remember. I just remember sitting there being like, this is a little bit funny feeling. Like, it didn't feel forced, but maybe, like, slightly awkward is the right word. I don't know if you remember. I don't know what you remember.
I just remember it being more awkward than whenever we full swap with him the first time at Colette. I don't know if it was because it was such an intimate location, because it wasn't just at the club where we could just fuck and just kind of be like, okay, that was really fun, peace out. And since they were in our bedroom and stuff, I don't know if that made a difference, but I haven't seen them in a really long... It wasn't like it was a bad experience. There wasn't anything that I really, really... that stuck out. Mm-hmm. That's all. Yeah, that's all I remember with that one.
I think this was... No, there was one other couple that we had played with twice. This was our second time, like, playing with someone a second time. But that's what was funny to me because, like we talked about in previous podcasts, I feel like normally the more you play with another couple, it usually gets a little bit better.
Well, that's when you have a really good friendship
Maybe
vibe.
That's what it is.
With this couple, we had the sexual connection, but we didn't have the... friendship connection, so there wasn't. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, I can see
I don't remember any conversations we had with them. Me either. I can't remember. All I can remember is, like, sexual stuff with them. So that's probably why it felt. It didn't feel weird. It was fun. It just we haven't seen them again or anything. Like, I hadn't even seen them at the club or anything, and I feel like we used to see them quite a bit.
I don't know. Maybe they moved or something.
Yeah.
But. Unfortunately, that's all the details I feel like we can really give you. That's why I'm so excited that we're filming these new episodes as things happen, because it's so much nicer to be able to give you a real play-by-play. And I know it's going to be nicer for me and you when we listen back to these later to be able to really hear about what happened. But I will say the next story that we are going to talk about, I can give you some details on this one.
This one was, you know what? I think it's the experiences that a lot of, like, really good things happen are the ones that you really remember. Because this one that we just talked about was just, I don't know, is mediocre the word? Like, it was
mediocre feels like, that sounds like a mean word. I don't think that's the right word. It was really fun, but there was just nothing, like, out of the ordinary that happened.
Yeah,
and I think, well, I was going to say, I think what you were saying with how we didn't have that as much of a vibe, it was almost strictly sexual. I feel like you don't remember as much. Yeah. Because, you always talk about, like, half the time we remember everything that happened building up to it and then not as much about the sex. Yeah. With them, I pretty much only remember the sexual parts. Yeah. That's it. And so I think that's, like, the biggest thing is I like, it's fun, the sex is good, but I like having a little bit of, like, some sort of vibe or feeling that you get because I think it does make you remember the experiences more.
And it makes the experiences more fun. It's not like we had zero vibe. We must have had some kind of vibe if we invited them over, and this was the second time we did stuff.
Yeah.
But the first time, if you guys haven't listened to episode 3, it was the end of the night, and they literally looked over, and it was our first time at the club, and then she came over and was like, "You want to get a room?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it was like all sexual.
We only knew their names, and that's it.
Yeah.
At that first,
like we introduced ourselves and like went. So like it really that.
Yeah, so I think that threw the vibe off a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then fast forward to our next story, which is January of 2017.
Yeah. So the same person that 2 years ago threw the Fiesta Latin, was that 2 years ago? Yeah, 2015.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it was his birthday again. And this year he threw a WWE party.
Yeah, it was
so sick. And like I grew up liking wrestling, but I love wrestling clothing. So I have like a lot of like vintage wrestling shirts. And so I remember I had this old WrestleMania t-shirt, like this vintage WrestleMania t-shirt, and I cut the sleeves out. So like the whole sides were open, and then I wore like some wristbands on my wrist.
Yes.
And so like, or on my like forearms. And so I really felt like this party, I like embodied the theme. It was awesome.
I think I have a picture of what I was wearing, but I was in like high-waisted, almost booty short kind of.
You look like a ring girl.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I had fishnet stockings on, which might have been sparkly. I can't remember. But I had black fishnets on.
We have a picture of it. I
do have it. Oh, because I was holding. Someone had I'm really bad with sports.
Like a championship belt,
That's
like a WWE title belt.
I was literally going to call it a gold medal.
No, it was like a championship belt, and somebody had brought one. There was also this other guy there, and we don't need to give him a name, but we used to hang out with him and his wife, and I don't know what happened there, but he brought these breakaway shirts.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
And he literally,
so funny.
He would he had like an 8-pack, and he bought them, and he would put one on, and then randomly throughout the night, he would like go, and he would rip the shirt in half like the old WWE guys and rip his shirt off.
Are you talking about he had an 8-pack? Like he was really...
No, like an 8-pack of t-shirts.
Oh, I was like, I don't remember him having an 8-pack.
No, he had like 8 t-shirts, like a package of 8 t-shirts.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, but he would just like rip them off and like then like just put another one back on. And it was so entertaining.
It was super funny. Oh, so I'll put the picture of it on the episode webpage. But
okay. I guess we'll paint the picture of we were there in our wrestling outfits, our wrestling gear. We were back in that private room at Colette in Dallas. If you've never been to that one before, it's just a little private room. There's a bed.
Couches.
We have a ton of friends who go there. So that night we were just hanging out, talking to a bunch of our friends, and this girl, she was dating somebody.
I don't even know if they were dating, but
no, but she was dating somebody else that was dating one of our friends. They were like in like an open relationship. Basically, this girl was there because she was dating like a friend of a friend. Like I said, it was just an all open relationship between all of these people. So this was our first time meeting this girl, and she also brought another guy that I think that she was.
That they just played together.
Yeah. But this girl was dressed like Harley Quinn. Like
the Daddy's Little Monster Harley Quinn.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I don't know if she missed the theme. And like, I don't know that wrestling character. But I don't have like a lot of fetishes. And I don't know if you can call Harley Quinn a fetish. But the new age Harley Quinn, the Daddy's Little Girl Harley Quinn, I have this like super sexual attractiveness. Yeah, I just have this thing for when people have the pigtails with the whole Harley Quinn outfit. And so this girl...
Well, I feel like you had that after her. Did she cause this kink? I'm pretty sure it did. Like, I don't ever remember you being super into Harley Quinn before, but once
so.
I think that's what it was.
Because I was just really into this girl.
Yeah.
We'll call her Emily. Let's call her Emily. And what should we call her man?
Eric. But honestly, I didn't even talk to Eric
had a man,
that much. But, well, do you remember before we went to the party. There was a Facebook group about it was like a Facebook group for the party. And then she had posted a video in that Facebook event group. And I showed you and I was like, because you know the necklace that the Harley Quinn wears and it says put it on it? Well, hers said cum slut. It was the same necklace but it said cum slut. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. And so I showed you a video because she posted some sexy video on there. And I was like, she's going to be here. We should like try to go find her whenever we go.
And I was extremely attracted to this girl. Like, I feel like one of the most I've ever been attracted to someone. I said, maybe that's what caused this weird fetish that I still have to this day. But like, it was just a yes all around for me on this one.
I was going to say lucky you because it's almost a joke how many people dress up as the daddy's little monster Harley Quinn.
Halloween's coming up here in a few weeks. I hope there's some more of them.
There's going to be, I'm sure of it. So, but anyway, so we're hanging out over by the white couches at Colette, and then I think we're walking around, you and me, a little bit. That's what we usually do whenever we get there. We have our drinks, we make our rounds, we
say hi to our friends.
Yeah, and so after maybe an hour or something, we see her, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's that girl with the cum slut necklace. And then
she's just as cute in real life as she was that video online.
Yeah, she's so hot. Like blonde hair,
so
big titties, like her, but she's so curvy, like super cute. And the whole night whenever we saw her, she was really bubbly, just kind of jumping around talking to everybody. But then whenever it was later on in the night, I remember I was like, okay, we should go talk to her. I should go talk to her. And I was really attracted to her too, and I was not afraid to go talk to her. And so I remember I went over to the couch, and then I looked at her, and
this wasn't super late yet. Because I feel like there was a little gap before anything happened. But I feel like, maybe it was like midnight or something, I would bet.
Yeah. So I went over and I said, I really like your necklace. And she goes, I really like making out with pretty girls. And I was like, okay, we should make out then. Or something like that.
And I was sitting behind you and I was like.
You were like, whoa, that's.
Fuck, yeah, okay. Okay, Emily, like.
And so her confidence was just amazing. Like, it really inspired me to even be more confident and more what's the word, forward, I guess, because she just made it happen so fast. She knew what she wanted,
and she and the thing is, she was already so hot just from like looking at her, but her confidence and her, like, you said, that whole just feel that she gave off.
She had an aura about her. That just
was so hot.
Yes.
Like, she knew she was hot. She knew what she wanted, which is also hot. And she just, like, made shit happen.
Went for it.
Yeah, she, like, didn't care. And it was
it's not like she didn't care, but I'm just...
No, but I don't think she got cared about being rejected. Like, if you would have said no, I don't think she would have cared. Like, she just, like...
She probably doesn't get said no to.
Probably not. But, I just remember watching you guys make out, and I was like...
And she, like, crawled over whenever I was like, I love your necklace. Because I don't think I was sitting next to her, but I think she crawled over. I just remember that part so clearly, but I don't remember what happened after that.
Did you guys made out?
Well, I remember that. Great. She's a great kisser, but I don't remember how we got to...
So then I think some time kind of passed, and, like, you introduced me to her, like, after you had kissed her or whatever. And, like, this is my husband. Cause I was just sitting there, like, probably looking like
deer in headlights. Like, whoa.
Like a kid on Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably a better analogy.
I was just like, holy shit. And she was still, like, fully clothed. So this was, like, full Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
Got the eye makeup, the whole thing. And I was like, oh, God, this is happening. And then I remember you guys, like, stopped making out. And so I said, she was dating a friend of a friend or something like that. And I remember later in the night, I remember seeing her walk back to a room with one of our friends. And so she ended up, like, having sex with one of our friends.
Oh, yeah, her and her. Oh, we'll name him Eric.
Yeah, Eric. You said Eric earlier, I think.
Oh, we did? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So she and Eric went back and played with somebody.
Yeah, and then, so the next time that I saw her, she was, like, completely naked. So she still had the pigtails and the makeup, but she was just naked. And her body is even more fun when she's naked than when she was in the costume. And I so clearly remember this. I bet we've had this 50 times. They've had the same conversation. So me and you were there, and it was around the same spot that we saw it the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like walking up to say hey to her again or whatever, and she just like, I was talking to her this time. And
oh, no, I think what it was she was talking to me, and then she asked if I wanted to go do stuff with her. And I said, oh, I play with my husband. Like, we don't do separate room. And so then that's when she went over to you.
Yeah,
and it was
she like looked me like dead in the eyes, and she was like, do you want to fuck me? And I was like, yeah. Like,
no. You go, because I heard it and I remember it so clearly. You go, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was so hot. Like, do you want to fuck me? I was just like, I think, yeah.
The way that you said yeah.
Yeah. And so she was like, okay, let me go get Eric. And so she grabbed him, and then just like, I want to say she literally like grabbed our hands and like held hands and walked us back to a room.
Yeah. This podcast is brought to you by us, Bella and Jase. Have you ever been in a situation where you're hanging out with your friends, or maybe you've made some new friends and you don't quite know how to get the conversation going anymore, or you just want to spice up the party? Well, we have a game for you. It's called Foreplay the Game, and you can find more information about it at foreplay.com/games. It's the icebreaker game, and it's the ultimate adult party game that always makes for a fun time.
If you're newer to the lifestyle, we do have a course that is all about all of the things that we wish we would have known when we first got into the lifestyle to kind of help avoid a lot of the pitfalls. You can check more information about that out at foreplay.com/learn.
We also have swinger and lifestyle clothing and accessories, and you can find that at foreplay.com/shop. All right, back to the show.
She like held our hands and walked back there with us, which was really kind of cute. It was fun, like being led by somebody.
Like we were skipping or something.
Yeah, like it just felt. I was just so excited. I was like, "Oh, this is so fun!" Mm-hmm. And
we go back to one of the room. Opaque. Window
and
or opaque.
As soon as I got back there, I was like, "Shit, I really need to pee." So I remember you guys were all in there, and I was like, "I'll be right back." So I ran to the bathroom and I ran back. And then I think that all three of you were kind of like kissing or doing something.
Yeah, I don't think that any actual play started before you got there.
Yeah, no. I think you guys were all kissing or something. And then I remember I got back and she was like, "Oh, there you are." And like almost immediately, like I want to say she started like helping me pull my clothes off. There was something so eager about her, which also just made her that much sexier. Honestly, probably one of the most, how do I describe this? I feel like she really wanted to fuck me. Like, and I'm not saying other people don't want to, but it's like she loved sex. It's almost, she seemed like kind of like nymphomaniac-ish.
Yeah, like she just had this sexy aura about her that was just sexual, and just like she loved anything sexual.
And you could see, like, when she was going down on you, she loved doing it. Like, everything she did, you could tell she loved doing it.
Enthusiastic.
Yes, that's a good word for it. And so, I remember literally, she, like, pulled my pants off, and you started just doing stuff with him.
Yes.
Because this whole experience, me and you never played together, I don't think.
No.
I think that you did stuff with him, and then I fucked her. And I think that's literally all that happened. And so... I guess I can talk about what happened to me, and then you can talk about
you should end it because there was your experience with her was better than mine. Not that mine was a bad experience or anything, but yours was sexier.
Okay, why don't you tell yours first
watching the whole time, but so you guys were doing stuff together, and then me and him were kissing and stuff, and then he started to fuck me missionary, but they had just went and played.
Like maybe 30 minutes before, maybe, if that.
And so then whenever we were having sex, I think he was eating me out and stuff, but he was just having trouble getting hard because he literally just came.
Had sex, yeah.
And then he was like, "I'm so sorry. This is like the 6th time that I've had sex today." And I was like, "Oh, that's totally fine. No problem at all." And so I think he just ate me out, and I don't know if he left or if we were just watching you.
No, I think you guys just watched us.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So I think we were just kind of, he was not holding me,
Yeah.
but maybe rubbing me while we were watching you because we didn't do much.
Yeah, and normally whenever, like, I remember, like, looking over every once in a while, like, seeing you doing stuff, but I feel like normally I'm much more, like, I spend, like, half my time looking at what I'm doing and half my time looking at, like, what you're doing, because that's, like, really hot to me, but I feel like how, like I said, eager this girl was, I feel like I was almost just in that moment of, like, what was happening to me, so I feel like I didn't see as much of, like, what was happening to you as I normally do. But I remember I said, she pulled my pants down, and then she started going down on me. And then, like, really quickly, after she was doing that, she, like, started giving me a hand job and sucking on my balls, which most girls don't.
Well, that's never happened to you before, because you told me about that after, and I was like, oh, because I've never done that to anybody at this point.
So basically, she started going down on me, said she was giving me a blowjob, and then she stopped and gave me a hand job and started, like, sucking on my balls, which was so hot because I've never really had a girl do that before. Where I've had experiences where, you know, maybe I was getting a double blowjob and, like, one person was, like, sucking my balls, the other person was on.
I don't think anybody had sucked on your balls at this point. I mean,
besides you.
Yeah. I don't even know if I did it very
I think
often.
you had before.
Oh, okay.
Not very often, but it was.
But at that point, that was the first time that's ever happened to
you.
And
it was so hot. And I said, and the thing was, she was just so into it, and she was so good at it. So good at it.
She was really good at it.
And so, like, within, like, I don't last the longest with blowjobs anyway, just because that's, like, one of my favorite things sexually. So after, like, a minute, I was like, okay, I need to stop having her do that so that this lasts more than a minute. So I kind of, like, flipped her over on her back, like, missionary. And I remember grabbing her boobs and, like, eating her out for a little bit. And I remember she had her clit pierced because I could, like, feel it. Like, I could feel, like, the piercing on my tongue, which I'd never felt that before either. And her nipples were also pierced, which was really, I don't know why, but it was fun. Like, when you, like, sucked on her boobs and stuff, you could feel it, and it just felt different. But she also was very dominant.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was going at her for, like, maybe a minute, and then she, like, grabbed me and, like, pulled me up and was like, I want you to fuck me. And so I was like, okay, yes. Will do. And so she's like, get a condom, or, like, where's your condom, or whatever. So I put that on, and then she literally just got on top of me. And she started riding me, and just so into it. Like, that's what I remember so clearly, is she was so into it that I feel like there's a lot of guys that have this almost, like, animalistic, like, feeling of, like, when they fuck. Like, she gave me that feeling. Like, she was just so into it, which me and you have talked about this before. I don't think we had talked about the podcast, but to me, having a woman be that eager to sleep with you, because sometimes I feel like as a guy, I'm like, oh, wow, it's so fun that, like, girls like me. So when a girl is super eager and, like, they seem like they want you and it's not just you want them. And so I remember she was riding me for a while and just, like, you know, making out with me and just so into it. And then I remember she turned around and started riding me, like, reverse cowgirl. And her ass is so cute. And so I remember just, like, I was just, like, holding her ass, like, while she was riding me. After she switched and started riding me reverse, so I was grabbing her ass, and then I normally never will come in anybody.
With a condom.
Yeah, with a condom, even with a condom on. Like, I just don't like to. But she was so good at it that I wasn't ready for it. And so, like, I remember, like, I didn't think I was gonna come, and then out of nowhere, I was just coming. Like, I came. She was like, did you come? And I was like, I think so. And the guy was like, yeah, like, when she rides you like that, he's like, I get it. It just happened.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. And I remember I was like, holy fuck. Like, that was really fun. That was really fun. And then she was just so, like, bubbly afterwards. And then I remember her kind of just, like, holding my face and, like, making out with me after that. And then she went over to the same thing to you. And it was just such a
really
hot
good
experience. Still, like, one of the best experience I've ever had, like, live, at least as far as, like, the actual sex goes, some of the best.
She was just really good at it. Oh, like a porn star.
Yeah, just like a porn star. And just, I said, the confidence and the
Harley
eagerness and well, I don't think it was Harley Quinn. I think that she literally was so good that she caused me to have a fetish.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know how now, like, my thing is Asian girls? It's because of you.
Yeah.
So literally, I think that she was so good that she made me have this fetish.
That is so funny.
Truthfully, I never realized that until this conversation.
Just right now. Yeah.
But I think that that's, like, why that happened.
So I learned a lot of stuff from her. And I got even more confident now because I didn't know that men liked that much confidence, you know? So
yeah, it really is like it's a whole thing. Is that confidence and like seeming like having the feeling that you're wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And ever since that time, I feel like you're more that way with me. Like when we have sex, and I always
I initiate it more,
and things like that. Yeah. And that's just such a hot thing to me to have to feel that wantedness and the eagerness, and then on top of it, just one of the best sexual skill sets I have ever seen anybody have.
You know, I don't remember eating her out, but I'm sure I did, right? Probably would have.
I don't know because I don't know. Like literally,
I don't know if we had enough.
Literally, whatever you guys did when I was not there is, I think, all you really did with her besides when you kissed her at the beginning.
Was I naked when you got back?
Mm-hmm, you guys were all naked. I think that you guys were all like kissing or doing something like that.
So that's probably when I have such a bad memory. This is too long ago. I can't remember.
Oh, also, something else that she did that I've still to this day never had anybody else do was while I was like, I think it was when I was fucking her missionary, she grabbed me and like pressed on my taint. Is that what that's called?
Oh yeah, that spot between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it actually felt really good. I don't think I've ever had that experience ever again. And like, that's what I say. She just did all of this shit that I wasn't used to.
Her skill set was just out of this world.
It really was.
You know, I think I tried doing that with you afterwards, and it wasn't right.
Because I don't think that you were like confident in doing it. I think it was that like,
because I think I was like,
is this right? And like, that's not like sexy. Like, she just grabbed me and did it. And it was hot because she like knew what she was doing when she did. I feel like you were like nervous, and it's kind of like, is this right? And then that's not as sexy.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why. I forgot that happened too. But it's crazy to me because I so clearly remember this experience was like 2 months after that last one.
I know.
Well, I can't remember anything about it. I remember everything about it's probably one of the experiences I remember most still to this day.
I know.
And just Emily was something else. So yeah, that was a really fun experience. So yeah, I don't think much else happened after that. I feel like we just hung out with our friends more the rest of the night, and we've never seen her again. I don't think she's ever come back to any parties. Like, I want
to say I saw her on Facebook like maybe a few months after that, but she was in a different relationship.
Yeah, I think she might have like got out of lifestyle stuff and like been like more in a committed relationship, possibly.
Well, I wouldn't say committed, but like.
Or been more, I guess she was like involved in a non-lifestyle relationship.
Like a more monogamy. I'm not sure. I don't know, but she's super fun, super hot. And
honestly, Eric was extremely good looking.
Oh yeah, he was hot too.
He was so good looking.
He was stimulated too much before ours. I mean, it was like towards the end of the night, like probably 1, 2 or something like that.
Yeah,
so I don't blame him either. This has nothing to do with the experience, but I remember after we were done, we went back out to talk to our friends, and one of our friends, or our couple friends, they play separately, and he had went to go play.
We went to a hotel room party.
Oh, we did? Was that
yeah.
Oh yeah, but nothing happened there. It was just a fun party.
No, but I don't know if that's where you're going with the story, or
Oh, no, this was just when we were still sitting at the club.
Okay.
And, well, he had come back to his wife, and then they kissed, and she said, "You taste like pussy." And I thought that was kind of cute. Super fun. And, she's the one that makes me, but now I bought some necklace that you can change out the words, and whenever we do lifestyle stuff, sometimes I'll wear it. It's like a choker, and I make it say "come slut."
Mm-hmm. I love that necklace.
And so we're going to end our podcast with our weekly obsession.
Oh, on 3. Come on.
Go.
One, 2.
Bella and Jase. Weekly.
Damn. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Weekly obsessions.
Okay, nice. The last one was so much smoother than that one.
So we have a song weekly obsession and a thing weekly obsession. So we'll start off with our song of the week.
So I'm going to go with the whole album instead of just a song. So there's this group, and I think they're just producers, but then they have people in their song. They're called Internet Money, and they put out an album probably like a month ago or so, and it's called Before the Storm, like B4, like the letter and the number, the storm, and it has so many features on it, and I love that album. The whole way through, the whole album is so good, and that's what I've been listening to anyway this week, and so that's kind of my weekly obsession with music. Yeah.
My weekly obsession song is Rainbow Bop by Jaden Smith.
Oh, I love that song.
So good. He's completely changed, I feel like, his music style from this one to his previous one, like Icon and Feel Like I'm Goku and stuff, but that's a really good song. And my weekly obsession in general is, so I'm trying to be healthier and stuff, and I love boba drinks, and just the actual boba itself, the tapioca pearls, but it's not very healthy for you, and it's full of sugar. But I like drinking tea and having that kind of jelly, not filling, topping to drink with. So I started making my own coffee jello, and I just use instant coffee and then a normal pack of gelatin, and then I'll put stevia in it to sweeten it. But I've been making that and putting it in my milk tea that I also just make at home. A really good one right now that we're doing with the fall is chai, and your eyes just went big.
Like, if you guys could see, my eyes went huge when she started talking about it. It's so good.
It's just I do a chai tea bag and a pumpkin tea bag, and then one black tea bag, and then I'll just let that steep and then use stevia and put my coffee jello in it, and it's super, super good.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite drinks of all time.
But you don't like the jello as much.
The jello is not my favorite part. But when there's but sometimes you'll make it just for me, and you won't put jello in it. And I mean, I've paid for a lot of drinks at Starbucks and stuff, and this is truthfully,
or even at boba tea places. Yeah.
And this is probably, there might be one. There's a Thai tea at a place I really, really like. This is easily a very close second, if not even better than that. So
I'll put the recipe in the episode webpage, so you guys can go check that out if you want the recipe. But
worth it, especially in the fall. My weekly obsession is, so I have been going through the process of getting veneers and crowns on my front teeth.
Oh, yeah.
And I had been in temporaries for a while, and so I now have like 4 veneers and 2 crowns because of some old dental stuff that I had to deal with, but on my front teeth, and I am so happy with it.
They are so beautiful. We're big teeth people too, and it is gorgeous. Every time that I look over, I go straight to, his eyes and then his teeth now. Not that you had bad teeth before, because you had beautiful teeth before too.
Yeah, but that's what's crazy to me is like how much nicer they are, even though they were already really nice. And I'm obsessed.
Yeah, you can't stop smiling.
I can't stop smiling. And it was a process to go. It wasn't a hard process, but because of a couple random things, it kept getting pushed back, and I wasn't able to make an appointment, so it ended up taking longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah. And
like the temporaries aren't fun to wear, so it was just not fun to have to go through wearing those for a while. But I could not be more pleased and more happy that like it's all done now. And so I already smiled a lot. I actually never stopped smiling anyway.
Yeah, you do a smile.
But now I feel like all start smiling just randomly thinking about smiling. Like, so that is
to show off your teeth.
That's like my weekly obsession is that was on Tuesday that I got them finished, or Wednesday that I got them finished. So it's only Sunday now. So it's only been like 5 days, and I am just like over the moon happy about finally having them done. And it's been a whole process my whole life of like dealing with all these teeth kind of issues, and to like finally see the end fruition of all of the hard work and stuff. That's my weekly obsession. I wanted to ask I always love to ask questions to you guys to get your guys' just opinions on things. You can either email us, and that is at fourplaypodcast@gmail.com. We changed it. It is the number 4 OUR playpodcast@gmail.com. Is there anything, like after talking about our experience, is there anything that is really sexy to you? So like I said, to me, that eagerness that the girl had was like a really sexy trait. Is there anything?
The confidence.
Yeah, the confidence and eager.
I need to redo that. You can't just say eager. It sounds funny. You need to say like the confidence and eagerness.
Did I start the whole thing over?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and before we do the outro, I love to ask you guys questions and hear your guys' replies. So you can either leave us a voicemail, and that will be in the show notes down below, or send us an email, and that is at fourplaypodcast@gmail.com, the number 4 OUR playpodcast@gmail.com. My question this week is there anything that you guys and girls feel is really sexy, especially in a lifestyle situation? So to me, like I said, this time,
in the opposite sex.
Yeah, in the opposite sex. That girl having so much confidence in what she was doing and being so eager, and just that whole entire aura that she gave off was just a really sexy feel to me. Is there anything like that you, and what about you? Answer that. Why don't you answer that question right now? Is there anything about a man that they do that's like, oh, that's really sexy?
I think same as yours, where making me feel wanted, making me feel like, oh, you're so sexy, like I want you, that kind of thing. I like confidence in men as well, not cockiness. All right, guys, understand there's a very big difference between cockiness and confidence, and I like the confidence. I personally, it all comes down to your sexual preference, but when it comes to men, I like men to be more dominant, and so just to kind of take charge and that kind of stuff. So that's what I think is sexy. But again, yeah, confidence and making me feel wanted, which is exactly what you said.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys email us, leave us voicemail. Do you agree with us, or do you have something else that like is really sexy to you? Let us know, and then we'll do the outro.
Jase just tried to do the whole entire outro, and we're just gonna crop that out.
We're cutting it out.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it out, and then I'm just gonna do the outro.
Okay,
I feel like you know what we should, yeah.
It's fair. It was rough.
Okay.
If you'd like to support the show, you can leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to our podcast. All our information will be listed in the show notes below. You can email us at fourplaypodcast@gmail.com. That's the number 4 OUR playpodcast@gmail.com with any questions or comments, or head to fourplay.com/ask. We have a digital online game called Foreplay the Game. It's the ultimate adult party game for the sexually inclined and perfect for breaking the ice. You can find more information at foreplay.com/games. We give away 1 free game of Foreplay Plus a month to a listener who writes a review, so just screenshot your review and email it to us for a chance to win. We have swinger and lifestyle clothing and accessories at foreplay.com/shop and courses at foreplay.com/learn. And we also have a Facebook group called Foreplay Community and would love for you to join at facebook.com/group/foreplay community. We're on Twitter at Foreplay Podcast and Instagram at HeyBellaLuna and at HeyJaceB. I have an OnlyFans, which you can find at onlyfans.com/BellaLunaVIP, or my free one at BellaLunaFree. Lastly, we're on Cassidy and SDC at Bella and Jase, and you can get a free 30-day full membership by using our link. Again, all our information will be listed in the show notes below, and we thank you so much for listening to our podcast. See you in the next one. Bye!